Hey there, you're listening to episode 6 of One Season I Hate About You, the podcast where we watch episodes of Pup Academy and hope and pray that the prophecy will come back at some point. I'm here with my partner Kevin.
Hello.
And my good friends Charnstar and Chanelle.
You go first.
Hello. Sorry,
I've
can I
already
do
said
that
my
again?
bit.
Hey.
Now leave that in.
Anyway, we're here to talk about episode 6 of Pup Academy, and this one is entitled Spark Strays.
Oh, spoiler.
I know. So this is the moment in Harry's life where he's like, I don't want to be a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry. You're a stray, Harry.
Yeah,
You're a dog, Harry?
I'm a what?
So let's get into the blurb, hey? A new day dawns
Ooh.
on Wolfhead.
That's what it's called. The place is called Wolfhead.
But it's spelt capital W, obviously. Olfehead.
That's the only part I remember. I remembered a superfluous E.
Yes.
There it
Is it
is.
German?
Maybe.
Okay. A new day dawns on Wolfhead as Spark encounters King. We have to remember King is Voldemort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a German
and
shepherd.
Spark is...
And Wolfhead is spelled maybe in the German way.
What,
Ooh,
are we
man.
already getting into the
Oh,
conspiracy
my mind.
theories?
At the academy, the pups learn about baby talk and try to understand why humans love it. So that's what the episode is about. We're going to get right into it. We're going to spoil this thing for you. If you have not yet seen episode 6 of Pup Academy, get on it. You don't want us to wreck it for you.
This is one you don't want wrecked. This is
No.
next level.
Big things are revealed. And you want to know them before we tell them to you. As per usual, we've got the Green God in the studio to give you his recap, and then we'll come back and break it down into little bits and pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this once, let's do this twice, let's do this 3 times, 4 times, 5, no, 6. This is Pup Academy, Season 1, Episode 6. You start off with, Spark sleeping in her box, because she's homeless, that's it. And then the other stray dogs come. He's like, you know that you can just join our team, and we can be stray dogs forever. And so he's like, no, I don't want to do that. And then she goes to school. And then it's like, I had to live with a human sweet talking you and petting you, who's a good boy, yeah, that stuff. But then Spark doesn't like it, so she barks at Morgan, who is trying to sweet talk and giving an example. But then it's everyone goes home, oh, they treated me bad. Okay, I'll join you, stray dogs. So they're stray dogs now. And they're the speech, they're ordering people get away. The people don't like stray dogs, so the people just run away. And then they scatter because the animal control's there. And then we cut to Morgan making hot dogs because it's there's a big game or something, and he needs to make for 600 people, but there's 24 different types of hot dogs. So it's tons of onion and stuff. And Corazon and Riz are looking for Spark because they're best friends and stuff. And then the stray dogs find the hot dog stand with millions and millions of hot dogs. And it's let's go into there. Let's go eat those hot dogs. But then the other dog's we're eating dogs, but the other dog's no, it's just sausages, because people are making fun of our name, making fun of our kind. So they go in there and then rob them from their hot dogs, and then Morgan stands on a trash bin, and then it's the dog's hallucinating him saying eat me, but he's actually saying don't eat me and stuff, like eat me. It's so weird. But then Spark finds out that Morgan is the one in the hot dog costume, so he bites the dog's tail and it's like, no, don't hurt him and stuff. So Corazon and Wiz find Spark. It's like, no, get away. And they're chasing the dogs off. Then they chase the dogs off. They're fine. And then Spark apologizes to all of them, to Wiz and to Corazon and Morgan. They're like, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Yeah, that much. And then they're all happy now. So Morgan's just serving hot dogs for everybody. And they serve it to the dogs. And the dogs are happy and they eat. But the stray dogs are like, we're coming back for you. We'll never forget this moment. So that's season finale for season 1, Pup Academy. That's it.
Well, it's the end of episode 6.
What? You think there's more?
Yeah, there's 6 more episodes.
You've got to be joking me. Can you just cut out what I said? And then cut out the whole situation of us talking?
Sure.
Okay, that's the end of Pup Academy's season 1, episode 6. Bye-bye.
Thank you to the Green God for that recap. Sorry for not cutting out what I said I would cut out. But I thought it was important for us all to know that there are definitely 6 more episodes of this podcast to come. It was a bit of a dog act. Let's kick this episode off talking about the Lost Dogs. Okay, the Lost Dogs, which are like King's crew.
The Death Eaters.
They are... Well, this is the question. Are they the Death Eaters from Harry Potter, the Lost Boys from Peter Pan, or the Lost Boys from the Lost Boys?
If anything, they're the Death Eaters, but of the 2 Lost Boys, I'd say they're closer to the Lost Boys from the Lost Boys than the Lost Boys from Peter Pan, because the Lost Boys in Peter Pan are explicitly not bad guys, and no one thinks they're bad guys, right?
Yeah.
Oh, except maybe in Hook.
Yeah, Hook thinks they're bad guys.
Yeah, but Hook's an idiot. Who's Hook in this scenario?
That's very true. That is... Or animal control.
Oh, dang. This is Harry Potter meets Peter Pan.
Start again.
With dogs.
Start
Meets
again.
the Lost Boys and vampires. It's all happening. So wait, you're proposing that we record the last 6 episodes all over, but relate them all to Peter Pan instead of Harry Potter?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was an important question, because explicitly calling the dogs the Lost Dogs, it does.
I thought they were called the Lost Boys.
I think they're called the Lost Dogs.
Okay, just in my head, I was like, the Lost Boys, got it, Peter Pan.
Yeah.
I didn't even realise they were calling them dogs.
Yeah. But it does sound like an illusion.
I reckon it is. I think they're trying to set up a big twist or like a big reveal.
Well, I agree with
not
you.
So bad.
Yeah.
The Peter Pan Lost Boys aren't they all orphans or abandoned children?
They got stuck in Neverland.
Yeah, but they don't have parents.
Did Peter Pan make them all fly there?
I think so.
Is Peter Pan just kidnapping kids?
He is.
That's the myth.
Oh,
That's
jeez.
Yeah.
Gotta rewatch that movie thing.
Yeah. Or
listen
read
to
J.M. Barrie's book.
listen to a podcast.
Wasn't he a pedophile?
That just reminds me of that episode of the
IT.
The ID. Pedophile.
I'm Peter.
Who's a pedophile? No, Peter-phile. In America, they call them pedophiles.
Oh my god, are we talking about Pup Academy? What are we talking about? On the subject of inappropriate things, Spark gets detention in this episode. Harry gets detention in this episode essentially for not accepting
Love.
pats. And this to me is very problematic. It sends some very mixed messages about consent, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Up until this point, I've been on board with the moral messaging, but this one I was like,
If someone tries to pat you, Peter Pan, it's come back.
Full circle here.
We really need to go back and look at all these episodes through the lens of Peter Pan, clearly.
Yeah. I shouldn't be laughing about this consent issue. What do you think?
If someone touches you in a way and you don't like it, should you run away and join Voldemort?
Gang. See, this is how it happens. Well, in another perspective, Spark's been through a lot of trauma. She doesn't know what.
An ARF is.
Yeah.
An attachment for friends.
Yeah, like she doesn't know what affection is. You know what I mean?
Which causes her to create the conflict of the episode where she gets confused and barked.
Yeah. So instead of accepting these pats, she barks.
There's a deeper psychological thing here.
Yeah.
For dogs.
She realizes she doesn't belong with all these dogs that have humans, so she runs away and she joins a gang.
Yeah, she doesn't relate. And she goes back to what she's familiar with.
Homelessness
And, detachment to affection. Wow, this just became...
This is our mid-season...
Spark has attachment disorders.
Reactive attachment.
Reactive attachment disorder.
Possibly.
Wow.
Which is why the B plot of this episode needs to be about 600 hot dogs.
We need to soften this up.
Yes. So Morgan's principal calls him in to make hot dogs, to make money because he needs extra credit because he's never going to school because he's always pooper scooping at the dog place.
Also,
Pup Academy.
once again, extra credit. It's primary school.
Yeah.
What is wrong with the American
And
schooling
it's child
system?
slavery.
Well,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, he's volunteering, that's fine. But then I was like, you've got one child volunteering to make 600 hot dogs on his own.
24 different flavors.
That's rough.
Okay, so the 24 different flavors thing, that never came up past that point. They
No.
specifically showed, there's 24 flavors. But at the end, spoiler alert, when they're selling the hot dogs,
It's just wrapped.
they're just wrapped and they're just like, here's
They're
a hot dog, here's a
alfoil.
hot
And
dog,
I
here's
thought
a
the
hot dog.
flavors, like,
You're meant to order them. You're like, can I get what was it?
Chili beef. I don't
and
know.
usually,
The
like,
Polish surprise or something?
Yeah.
wow. Like, usually if you go to a hot dog stand or a hot dog place, like, I don't know if you guys been into one, like, there was a lot overseas. When you buy a hot dog, it's just a plain hot dog. The flavors are toppings.
Yeah.
So it's not like, he has to cook different hot dogs. He
Except
just needs...
they explicitly
Gluten-free.
mentioned... Oh, did they mention gluten-free?
There has a
I
gluten-free
remember
one.
the tofu dog, and I was like, so they've got a tofu one, which means you specifically have to have those separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this kid's been put through slave work.
But I also have a conspiracy theory
Oh.
about this episode.
Not that we have any
Yeah.
about this show.
Yeah, I know. We absolutely do not have any conspiracy theories about this show. But my conspiracy theory about this episode, the principal, I think she had an ulterior motive. Because she kept saying to him, you need to make 600 hot dogs because it's such a big event and there's going to be so many people and we're going to make so much money, etc., etc., etc. Then they have this long shot of this crowd on this hill that contains something like 12 people. And they're just jumping up and down with their backs to the camera, cheering for something that we can't see. And I'm kind of like, this is Disney. Could they not afford...
It's Airbud Entertainment.
Yeah. But, I don't know. Charnstar, how hard is it to orchestrate B-roll footage of a random crowd going, yeah?
I mean, I feel like you could download it, but also they weren't on a field. They were just kind of over there.
Yeah.
Like, surely with 600 people, you need, like, some rudimentary stadium with seating, not 10 people standing and cheering.
Like on a hill. Like
Yeah.
they're just at the top of a hill looking down on something that we can't see.
They just came for the hot dogs.
I actually think it would have been more beneficial to have shots of like an empty stadium
Yeah.
and be like, this is where the people are going to be.
Just allude to it.
And we're going to hang out in front of the school to sell the hot dogs. But up the hill.
I don't know. So yeah, my theory is that the principal actually wanted to eat 580
Maybe she's Voldemort.
hot dogs on her own, and then they were going to sell the other 12.
She also described it as peak wiener time.
Oh my god.
Bringing
Wiener time.
Bringing back Peter Pan unconsensual touching.
I didn't even get that.
See, we
I
have-
didn't even catch on to that.
Oh, neither did
Chanelle
I.
and I had to stop because we were like, it's peak wiener time, baby. You don't want to miss out on peak wiener time.
Ding ding. Or more like ding dong.
This
Oh god.
episode's gone downhill fast. Downtown, peak wiener time.
Maybe the Green God was right. This should have been the last episode.
You reach peak wiener time and then you just finish.
It just keeps going. Oh.
That's what she said.
Anyway, yes. I have another question about this episode. So many questions. There's another shot of this episode that doesn't quite work for me. This episode contains a Skippy the kangaroo moment. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
You mean what happened? He's down the well, lassie, or whatever?
No.
Okay.
I'm referring to the moment when Spark bites the tail of another dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what part you're talking about now.
Yeah, would you like to explain it? Because...
Is this the part where it's like an obviously fake tail?
Yeah.
And it's just like, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
It looks like it ends just out of camera, like someone's holding something and they're pinching down on it so it all closes up and gets smaller at the end.
It looks like a stuffed hairy tube. Or you know when you're a kid and you can buy like the Dorothy the dinosaur tail that like you elastic band around your body? It's kind of like that, but a dog tail.
But it's also thicker than any dog's tail.
Yeah, and I saw that and I was like, this is really reminiscent of Skippy the kangaroo's paws that would just randomly come on screen at odd angles.
With a stick.
Yeah. It took me out of the moment. It really did. I get it. You don't want to harm an actual dog.
And that was the one part where, like, Harry Potter, I was like, oh yeah, it is a real dog, because the way it was biting it, I was like, yeah, it's playing tug of war or whatever. It was active, it was moving, it was an excited dog, unlike every other scene where it's just standing perfectly still.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing too is the word dog, the derogatory use of dog. They got really offended. Those dogs were like, what are you talking about?
Well, wasn't it brought up twice
Yeah.
in the episode?
Corazon and the dumb Voldemort.
Death
Yeah,
Eater.
yeah.
One of the Death Eaters.
One of the Death Eaters. Let's call him Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah. Seems like something Lucius Malfoy would be confused about.
Yeah. Remember that part in Harry Potter when he was all like, are we eating dog right now?
And the funny thing is, it's like they got so taken aback when they heard there was hot dogs. But then they just kept eating it. It was like, no, it's not a dog. It's like, oh, cool. All right, we'll just keep eating it. It's just like some really reassurance there. It's like, oh, yeah, no, it's fine.
I feel like Hermione explained it to Ron, and you can trust Hermione.
She is a whiz.
Yeah.
Zed.
Oh, God.
Oh, is that why she's called Wiz?
Oh, my God.
He's Wiz, sorry.
So you've got
Is it he or
Wiz.
she?
I think it's a he.
I think it's a he too. Wiz for wizard. Spark because of the lightning bolt. Corazon because...
Pizza.
Heart.
Oh, yeah, heart.
Oh, yeah.
See, that
He's
makes
the
me
heart
just think
of
of
the team.
Captain Planet.
Well, Corazon, Captain Planet, this just... We didn't even indicate right. We just took a hard right.
Well, actually, it's really on brand with the moral message from this episode, which is a
Get
quote.
distracted?
Yes.
Squirrel!
The quote is, I got lost for a little while, but I'm not lost anymore.
Well, because she's not lost...
Which is...
She's not a lost dog anymore.
Yeah, and we're not lost in this episode anymore.
Well...
I just got back to being lost. Sorry. How are they all out and about if they're meant to be at school or if they're not? Like, is it a weekend?
I believe it's after school.
Yeah.
It's a very short-lived gang experience. I think Spark leaves during the school day. Spark leaves after that class, runs out, finds Voldemort, and is like, yep, I want to join you. They hang out on the beach for a bit, and then Voldemort has that one line where he's like, we've been canvassing this joint for ages, and we know they make hot dogs on this day of the year. It's really random.
It's a phase.
And then I think when school finishes, Corazon and Wiz go looking for Spark.
Well, they've done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at least last time they gave the excuse of, no, they're not home. It's fine. Whereas this time they didn't even mention it.
No, they just went out and about on the streets of Wolf Head. Well, we're halfway. We're halfway through the season.
You got any more notes?
Thoughts, Chanelle?
I just want to see where this is going. I'm just interested in how this is going to wrap up.
How do you wrap up such an exceeding story as dogs go to a school? How do you wrap that sort of story up?
With a prophecy coming to fruition.
Hell yeah.
It needs to come back. Like, did they allude to the prophecy here? I don't
You
think
know
they
what?
did.
I'm going to read ahead and look at
Oh.
some episode titles because I need hope.
While you do that, why didn't... Because didn't they make a poor promise or whatever?
With King, yeah.
With King. Why didn't King go, oi, I'm cashing in that poor promise, steal the goddamn hot dogs?
Maybe there's
Yeah.
a bigger thing.
There's a bigger thing.
There's a bigger thing.
Bigger hot dog.
Well, at
Yeah.
the end of the episode, King said, that poor pact that we made, it's more serious now. I'm going to call it in for something huge.
Murder.
I was not paying that much attention, clearly.
Yeah, it was like at the end, like, you messed up, kid, and I'm going to get you. So, episode 7, Izzy Gets Busy. Doesn't sound like a prophecy.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She does have a... Oh, God.
She's the one with
gosh.
the whole camera thing
Yeah,
as well.
the studio.
God.
Episode 8, Kitten Academy.
So that's-
That's
here we go.
That sounds intriguing. Episode 9, Into the Wildwood.
Oh,
That
so they
sounds
do go to
good.
the Forbidden Forest.
Yeah.
Where they will find...
Secret
King-
Unleashed,
Yeah.
episode 10.
Episode 10, Secret Unleashed. Unleashed. It should be unattachment rope for friends.
It's unearthed.
Unarfed. 11 is The Substitute. And 12 is The Thing with King.
Okay, so it gets juicy. It gets
It does get juicy. I feel like we're heading into...
I think 2 episodes in. Yeah.
I like that it seemed to be like getting really lore heavy with those last ones. It was like, oh, the secret unleashed, and then the substitute, which just seems like an out of left field
Yeah.
second last episode.
It's a probably another one where Morgan no longer is the subplot. He's the main plot. Maybe.
Oy, and that's the Secret Unleashed.
Yeah.
Is that he's the main plot now?
Yeah, he turns into a dog. You know what? I'm getting my hopes up with the kitten episode here. Maybe it's one of those like stupid episodes where instead of it's the same characters, but just cats.
Oh,
You know, like it's a
See.
weird dream type of sequence.
I'm hoping it's the Goblet of Fire.
right.
Oh, it's
They-
just
They bring them around. They're like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
we've got the
other school.
other schools coming in, so
And
we
we're
can
gonna-
do the Tri-Wizard tournament."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon.
And then DOG is going to be all like, "Do the punch apart, do the double fire."
That was
This is
the...
DOG just having rabies farm.
Oh, well, to find out if that happens, you'll have to tune in... Well, you'll have to tune in 2 fortnights' time. But join us next fortnight for Izzy Gets Busy.
At peak wiener time.
We'll be here. We'll be letting you know how things are going, how the Paw Pack's heading, and we've made a Paw Pact, actually, to keep going.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
Without my consent.
Yeah.
What you just gone on about
Sorry
consent.
about that. Yeah.
Peter Pan is back.
Ooh.
In the meantime, head on to our website, www.inconceivablereviews.com. Check out our reviews for recent releases. You might see something that you like. You might like our
Wieners.
opinions. You might hate our opinions. But let us know what you think on our socials. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. We are at Inconceivable Reviews or at Inconceivable Reviews Official. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to know what you think of One Season I Hate About You. We're halfway through. What do you reckon's going to happen next?
Well, going by Harry Potter standards, I think at some point, one of them's going to take a love potion, which is essentially just alcohol. And then at another time, they're going to take a luck potion, which is essentially just cocaine. And a giant spider will die, and they're all going to be like really horny for each other.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Yeah, good. Solid theory. And we'll have to add very mild drug references to the PG rating.
A dog's gonna get neutered.
Ooh.
I hope they bring that up, because they
Yeah.
haven't mentioned neutering of dogs. It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Sex ed for dogs.
Yes.
Hopefully the coach runs it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get neutered. If you don't get neutered, you will have sex and you will die.